President Trump marks 100 days in office for his second term. How the White House is touting progress on immigration and the economy, including new executive orders.
The city of Carlsbad approves water and sewer rate hikes for residents, what you could be looking at on your water bill starting on July 1st.
I think it's sneaky. I think it's wrong.
How you can vote against a new trash fee.
An environmental success story here in the San Diego Bay. How all of these reef balls are helping in many ways in this Earth 8 report.
It's 6 a.m. on Tuesday, April 29th, and you're up with CBS 8. Thank you so much for joining us. 6 a.m. on your Tuesday. I'm Eric Conard.
And I'm Netta Irampour. Yeah, hopefully your morning's nice and smooth. No raindrops out there right
We'll take
now.
that. Yeah.
Let's check in with meteorologist Evan Narati. What can we expect?
Good start.
Much more mild out there than 24 hours ago. We had showers. We had a lot of clouds out there. Now it's quite mild and, in fact, comfortable. Temperatures have slid a bit across our inland valleys. We're mainly in the 40s out there to kick off the day. But at least by the time we get to the next hour or two, we'll be seeing a lot more sunshine than what we were dealing with as we started the week yesterday. 55 right now in San Diego, 48 in Santee, and notice there are not many clouds out there. 52 in Chula Vista right now. Here's what we have on satellite radar. Those clouds are not all that dense, and they're right along the coast, so they should not be with us for too long once the sun does come up. By the afternoon, we're warming up across our inland valleys especially. Yesterday, we were in the upper 60s across those valley floors. Now we're at 75 on that afternoon high for today. 68 out along the coastline. Mountains should be warm to the 70s, and the desert's gaining a few degrees as well, going for 90 this afternoon. Coming up, we're going to be talking about what to expect into the rest of the week, which could include a little bit of a cool down as the weekend comes around. Back to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Evan, getting us ready for the changes. And now take a look here. New this morning, crews are responding to this vegetation fire in Santee. You see that smoke there. This was reported just after 1 in the morning in the 8500 block of Mast Boulevard, right by the landfill north of the 52. Still unclear how the fire started or if anybody was hurt in this. Crews are still on the scene. We'll be sure to bring you any updates.
Well, today marks the end of the first 100 days of President Donald Trump's second term. New
CBS News polls show his handling of two of his biggest issues, the economy and immigration, are getting mixed responses. CBS 8's Chris Groh joining us live here in studio with how the president is tackling these issues, Chris.
Yeah, one of the biggest promises on the campaign trail was the lowering of prices for everyday Americans. And we've seen a bit of mixed bags when it actually comes to that coming to fruition. So let's tackle the economy. And a favorite term of the president's now, tariffs. So his administration says it's poised to actually ease a 25% tariff on car companies, a shift the president hinted at earlier this month. Now, according to the Commerce Secretary, the auto deal rewards, quote, companies who manufacture domestically while providing runway to manufacturers who have expressed their commitment to invest in America. But it's not exactly clear to most experts what that means. However, we did hear from GM CEO who voiced public support. The president will be in Michigan later today and could break it down further. Another change coming to imports from China that are worth $800 or less. Well, they're set to lose their tariff exemption on Friday. And some Chinese e-commerce companies say they are going to raise prices. A new poll suggests that Americans don't like paying more for products as a result of tariffs. A CNN survey shows 59% of those who responded think Trump has made the economy worse.
And fighting for every American, because these things will benefit our economy and will benefit every American.
And this Trump poll from CNN just spells trouble for the Trump presidency, part 2.
Now, this comes as President Trump's approval rating is continued to drop. We are going to talk immigration, which President Trump is polling a little bit better in the next half hour. Eric and Netta.
Okay, thank you very much, Chris, for that. If you live in the city of Carlsbad, your water and sewage bill is about to go up.
Yeah, some bad news there. The Carlsbad City Council voted to increase the rates. CBS 8's Regina Yarita live in Carlsbad with details on this rate change here. Regina?
Yeah, good morning, Eric and Netta. Well, the council actually moved forward with these rate hikes last week. So now, starting July 1st, residents could be looking at a 20% increase, but it's set to increase a total of 49% over the next 3 years. And I want to provide some background information and obviously break down what water and sewage bills could look like for people here. So right now, the average Carlsbad customer currently pays close to $130 for water and wastewater services, but they could see their bill increase to nearly $190 by 2027. Now, according to the city, the increase is necessary to cover rising water costs from the San Diego County Water Authority and to cover the escalating costs of maintaining and improving Carlsbad's water infrastructure. Council also says sewer rate increases are needed to replace aging infrastructure. But despite these rate increases, the city manager of Carlsbad says costs will remain among the lowest in the San Diego region. So back out here, we also know that Carlsbad is switching from its 3-tier system to a 2-tier, and they say that this system aims to charge more to cover the higher cost of delivering excessive water in the upper tiers. But for now, that is the latest coming from Carlsbad. I'm Regina Urita, CBS 8.
Well, today the city of Carlsbad is considering lifting its 27-year-old drive-thru ban for new restaurants. The city started banning new restaurants from having drive-thrus in 1997. Right now, only 12 original drive-thrus remain. Some businesses say if they were allowed to create one, it would exponentially raise revenue for the city. Others think it's a bad idea due to congestion and an increased reliance on cars. The city is looking to regulate drive-thrus by limiting operation hours, the length of the drive-thru lines, and minimum distance from residential areas.
Okay, 6:06 now, and people waking up today. Expecting more clouds again?
Yeah, more clouds along the coast this morning, but really they're going to be no match once the sun starts coming up.
Nice.
So we're moving already in that direction towards sunshine. If you're right along the coast, you might be waiting a bit, but notice there's already some pink hues that are kind of beaming on through. If you're out farther east, you have a much better chance of running into those pink, orange, yellow hues to start off the morning, as opposed to the gray start to the day that we had yesterday. And that gray start was not the only thing that we had. We had 0.2 of an inch that came down in San Diego and all the way up the coastline in San Diego. So this was an eventful Monday, now transitioning toward a much more quiet Tuesday. 48 degrees right now in Fallbrook, 45 in Escondido, 39 in Ramona, and 46 in Alpine right now. Notice that the temperatures across our inland valleys are a little bit cooler than yesterday and cooler than the coast because they're lacking clouds. So those clouds tend to act like a blanket for us. We talk as we get toward May, which is just a couple days away, about the transition that we're going to start to see likely toward May gray, which would mean that we're holding on to clouds along the coast and inland. The plus side to May gray is that it does help to keep our temperatures a bit more mild in the overnight stretch, but it also does come along with a good amount of cloudy skies for the AM stretch. Marine layer has been on repeat each night and morning and will continue to be on hand every night and morning for the next several days, at least between now and the weekend. Near seasonal temperatures, though, by the time we get to each afternoon, while we have that abundance of clouds in the morning stretch, we do tend to see a lot of sunshine in the afternoon. So those temperatures are going to be near normal by that afternoon stretch. Weekends are going to start to look a little dicey for us. This upcoming weekend, we start to see a little bit of rain come into the forecast. Saturday and Monday seem to be the days of clouds intensifying and starting to break apart at times, but Sunday right now seems to be our best chance for rain in the forecast. When we look at the 10-day temperature trend, that is shown where between now and Sunday, those temperatures do slide down to their lowest. And then after Sunday, we start to see that subsequent climb back up to the above average range. Remember, average is 69 degrees. So for today, we're right on average, cooling down just slightly and really not noticing that drop in temperatures until Sunday before we start to climb right back up. Let's check in on traffic. Things have been quiet so far this morning. We haven't seen many crashes pop up, and that holds true here at the 6 o'clock hour. Midspan Coronado Bridge is starting to slow down a bit. That's where we have some delays to kick off the morning. But besides that, the 5 and the 805 are actually looking quite smooth as we head through the 6 o'clock hour. Let's take a look at your drive times across the border. San Ysidro Port of Entry is about 85 minutes to get across, about an hour 25. Otay Mesa Port of Entry is going to be a little bit slower out there, nearly 2 hours to get across.